What's up, my niggas? You already know. Back in a fucking video. I ain't been on this bitch in a fucking minute. But, fuck all that shit, nigga. You already know we back with a fucking video. It don't even fucking matter. We on that motherfucking sports betting shit. It's this nigga named Yummers. He be doing all types of like sports betting and Wall Street bets. This and the third. We might react to the next one on the Wall Street bet shit. Cause I've been in a rabbit hole with that shit. Been motherfucking trading and all that shit recently. So I've been on a rabbit hole with this shit. You gonna see what the fuck going on though. But we gonna see what this goddamn sports betting going on and shit. Cause you know, I'm a fucking sports bettor. Like, I'm top tier sports bettor. Like, I'm in that bitch. Like, let's go. Like, we can make a motherfucking money line right now if you want to. On anything, nigga. Like, the fuck. So yeah, nigga, you already know we about to get right, man. Hell yeah. Let me see what the fuck going on in this bitch.
From one user losing so much money that his wife filed a lawsuit to another user 15,000xing his money in a day, we are going to go over the craziest sports bets posted on Reddit. Turn In Tricks is a user who has only ever made one post to the sports betting subreddit, but holy smokes, it was a heater. Turn In Tricks bet that Travis Kelce would score the first touchdown in his game versus the Jaguars, Dallas Goedert would score the first touchdown in his game against the Giants, Jamar Chase would score the first touchdown in his game against the Bills, and that finally Dalton Schultz would score the first touchdown against the 49ers. This parlay had plus 1.5 million odds, which meant that it had about a 1 in 15,000 chance of paying out.
Fight!
Jaguars against the Chiefs. Would Kelce score the first touchdown? Okay, first leg was right, but
Okay.
you know, still 3 more to go. His next leg had plus 1,200 odds since it was pretty unlikely Dallas Goedert would be the first one to score a touchdown that game. And just like that, Turn In Tricks was 2 for 2. No way Jamar Chase would also be the first.
This the point when you be like, ooh, yeah. You be like, bro, come on. Like that's when you 2 out of 4, you be in that bit like, please, God.
First one to score a touchdown in his game too, though, right? Well, Turn In Tricks was now 3 for 3, which was great, but it also made him insanely anxious waiting for the last game to start. He turned to the subreddit for advice on whether or not he should try to hedge his bet. If Dalton Schultz pulled through, he would walk away with nearly $73,000. But if he didn't, he would of course get nothing. FanDuel didn't give him the option to cash out early, and if he wanted to hedge, he would have to bet on every other person playing in that game to score the first touchdown. He decided that he was just gonna let whatever was gonna happen. The Cowboys versus 49ers game started, and
Nah, ain't no way.
Turn In Tricks' $5 bet turned into a massive $73,000 payday. 15,000xing your money with the tap of a finger is insane, but Throwaway One Start is a user who started off pretty tame and eventually ended up digging himself into a few $100,000 hole by sports betting. His first post on Reddit.
That's fucking crazy. Like $100,000, you lost that, bro. Like if you that bad at sports betting, please log off the app. Please, God.
It came 5 years ago when he was looking to invest in a restaurant in Manhattan. A lot of users would tell him, yo, this is a pretty risky investment. But little did they know, this was nothing compared to the investments he would be making in the future. He ended off the year by making a post to the Robinhood subreddit, wondering if it was possible to buy stock options after hours. With 0 replies, he decided that it was time to take a break from Reddit. Well, flash forward to November 21st of 2024, Throwaway One took his talents on over from Robinhood to DraftKings. The Pittsburgh Steelers had a game that night, and for some reason, he felt like he was about to make a whole lot of money. He loaded up on 4 different parlays and 1 straight bet. He put up a grand total of $6,184. He just needed Najee Harris and Russell Wilson to pull through and everything would be a-okay. Well, they both did pretty good, but not good enough to get that chicken dinner. That being said, every single one of his bets lost.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No way. See, this is where you fucked up at. This is where you fucked up at right here. On this, right? You got everything. You got everything. You got everything except your money line. You got everything except the Najee Harris and then the money line. See, that's how you fucked up right here. You could have took the money line off of one of these bitches. I'm telling you. You really should have took the money line off of this bitch right here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like rich shit. if you would have just put the money line on one of them bitches, or just like two of them bitches, you would have been straight. I'm not gonna say you would have got all your money back and shit, but you would have been straight. Like you would have at least broke even / got a little bit more profit. Like real shit.
Lost throughout.
He definitely lost that one though. That 2,500.
Not good enough to get that chicken dinner. That being said, every single one of his bets.
This shit right here, that shit was done for. That shit was cooked. That shit was cooked, fried, sauteed, whatever you want to call it. It was already done.
Lost. Throughout 5 different bets, he decided to moneyline the Steelers on every single one, which obviously didn't.
Hey, if you fucking with that Bitcoin, that motherfucker at 110,000 right now. 110,000. Like, look, if you're fucking with that Bitcoin, you better get in that motherfucker. It's at 110,000 right now. Like, what are we talking about, man? Like, well, this motherfucking site right here say 109,000, but don't worry about it. I'm telling you, that motherfucker gonna go crazy. It's not no crypto account though. Fuck that.
Work out too well for him. JZiggy44 said, first rule of betting is never bet on Najee to make a certain yardage. And another user said to take these losses as a lesson and come back even stronger, man. Throwaway one took this to heart. He did, because literally a few hours later, he was ready to bet even more than he did before. He had $10,000 ready to go on DraftKings, and he was looking through the app for his next big winner. The Lakers were playing the Magic, and he figured that betting on the Lakers would be a quick and easy way to recoup his losses. LeBron and Anthony Davis got to work, and things were off to a close but promising start. At the end of the first quarter, it was 36-38. The Lakers were slightly up. After the second quarter, the Lakers extended their lead just a little bit to 7 points. If they kept this up, Throwaway One's wound would be healed. Except Franz Wagner wanted him to stay wounded. With 37 total points that game, he was going to do everything in his power to take down LeBron and AD. After the third quarter, the Lakers lost their lead and were now down by 1. At this point, things were pretty much 50-50, and Throwaway One was starting to get a little bit more worried.
I know.
Luckily though, flash forward to the end of the fourth quarter, there were only 18 seconds left, the Lakers were up by 2, and best of all, AD was at the free throw line about to seal the deal. Franz Wagner took that thing back down the court, down by 2 with 15 seconds left. What was he gonna do? And just like that, Throwaway One lost another 10,000.
Gay. Oh my god, I've been so fucking mad, bro. That's how it be. I swear to God, that's how it be, bro. I had a fucking slip just before the regular season ended on NBA, bro. Just had a slip. That motherfucker with a cash for 3 bands, boy. I'm talking about straight money lines. I'm talking about money lines from hell, boy. Like going stupid on that motherfucker. And then it was that one motherfucking money line, bro. I'm talking about the last fucking 2 fucking seconds, bro. Motherfucking shot that 3 from hell. That motherfucker was a dot, but that motherfucker went straight in. I'm talking about, I could have cried that night, boy.
$1,000.
Could have cried.
He posted this loss to the subreddit and said, was I stupid for doing this? Yes.
Yeah,
Should I have
definitely.
tried to recoup the losses from the Steelers versus Browns game? No. Thank you, Lakers. Losing 10K because of a single point is rough. If only Anthony Davis made that free throw, maybe things would have ended in his favor. But on the bright side, Lou Sassel89 pointed out, at least you earned enough DraftKings points for like a t-shirt or something though. Snarky comments aside, Throwaway One knew that he was only 1 bet away from his biggest win ever. Only 4 days later, he decided not to bet 6 or even 10K like last time. He was gonna go big or go home. So he threw $17,000 into 2 parlays on the Ravens game. On his larger parlay, 4 out of his 5 legs looked green. All he needed was Lamar Jackson to get over 200 passing yards. With his luck looking like it was finally ready to turn around, he would potentially profit $30,000 from these 2 parlays. The Ravens locked in the win, and Lamar Jackson failed to get those 200 yards.
Yeah, I already
averaged
know.
about 250
Because I think I bet on that same game.
per game that season, but it looks like this game was not it. Welp, with another 17K down the drain, Fry High said, you'll get it back times 10. You might think that after all this commotion, Throwaway One needs a dank break, but no, what he really needs is another parlay. Only a week and a half later, he decided to place his biggest bet yet. He threw $20K into 2 5-leg parlays, and as you can probably guess, these were more losing bets. This time, he was only 7 yards away from making $66,000 though. Throwaway one was down over $53,000 in just the past 2 weeks. Some users would tell him to slow down, but he responded with, "Well, this should have been a lock. I was very confident about the Lions winning, so it was never a worry for me. And I assumed Gibbs would at least be able to get to 50. It was funny because I was going back and forth whether I should stick with 40 or 50 for him. But it's whatever." At this point, you would probably hope that throwaway one would just walk away from sports betting forever, or at least stop throwing thousands of dollars away. But what if I told you that he was just getting started? Seriously, only 3 days later, he went on one of the biggest betting sprees I've ever seen. He started off the night by throwing $30,000 on the Buffalo Bills. They were up against the Rams, and with minus 175 odds, he actually had a somewhat decent chance of finally winning a bet. The game went on, and to his surprise, the Bills were actually down 10 by halftime. No way he was going to lose another 30K. Doing the smart thing, he decided to double down on his bet and throw an additional $15,000 on the Bills now that the odds were plus 135. Would the Bills pull through for the boy and finally give this dude a win?
Somebody, please.
With yet another $45,000 gone, he remembered that whatever happens on DraftKings stays on DraftKings. On the same day, he threw another $16,000 on a 2-leg.
This nigga's rich. Like, how do you just have money to just... Like,
parlay. Thank goodness the Chiefs pulled through for him, and the Cavs lost by 9 points, so he kissed his $16K goodbye. He was already down $61,000 for the night, so he figured he may as well keep going for some reason. $10,000 on another 2-leg parlay. Rockets sealed the deal, but the Timberwolves didn't pull through. 2 more 2-leg parlays, and he lost another $20K. He was officially down $91,000 for the night, but he realized what he had been doing wrong. Instead of getting these little 2-leg parlays, what he really needed were 3-leg parlays. Well, both of these did not hit, and throwaway one was getting ready to throw in the towel. But not until he threw a final $10,000 into a big 4-leg parlay. The Steelers pulled through, the Saints pulled through, the Vikings pulled through. All he needed was the Titans to bring home the bacon. They had minus 500 odds to win the game, so throwaway one was glad that he was most likely about to win 24K. By the third quarter, the Titans were up 6-0. No way the Jaguars were gonna win the game. And just like that, throwaway one lost another $10,000 that night. 111K in one day and 164K over the past 2 weeks is insane, but it doesn't really seem like he learned any lesson. According to him, he is down $1.6 million over the course of his life, and that DraftKings randomly sends him $2K in DraftKings dollars. He says he barely ever wins, and that even after all of this, he was gonna bet $50K on the Bengals game the very next day. The next user is someone who made a once-in-a-lifetime bet, and you will not believe what he bet on. As we all know, Pope Francis unfortunately passed away not too long ago. Very sad times, but also, people were eagerly waiting to see who the next pope was going to be. Some people may have even been a little bit too eager, like this guy, who bet $526 that he knew who the next pope was going to be. With only 1% odds, $500 was actually kind of a lot of money to throw on this bet. On May 8th, news broke that Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost was elected as the new pope. Now, who did this user bet on becoming the pope? Just like that, he made a $52,000 gain.
God damn. Gang, like, I'm telling you, bro, I need a slip like that, bro. Like, I just throw $500 on that bitch. Give me the 50 bands, bro. Give me the 50. Like, I need it. Need it.
He placed the bet on...
Like, don't gamble, bro. Don't gamble, bro. 'Cause I'm talking about, it's addicting. Like, addicting like a motherfucker. Like, really.
Kalshi, which is actually a long-time sponsor of the channel. Kalshi is the first legal platform in the US where people can trade on events in all 50 states. Kalshi lets you trade on real-world events and can unironically be used as a way to hedge the positions you have in your stock portfolio. You can trade on things like whether or not the Fed will raise interest rates this month, when Trump will end his tariffs against a certain country, and even just casual sports bets too. Kalshi gives you an interactive chart that lets you see how the odds of a given event have changed over over time, which is honestly kind of just cool to see even if you're not going to place a trade on it. On top of this, the first 500 people who sign up, why not sign up and see what luckiest bet of Charlotte Hornets were playing. Going way back to January 14th in 2022, the Charlotte Hornets were playing against the Orlando Magic. Barnold bet that the game's total would be under 223 points. By halftime, 124 points were scored, which was a tiny bit more than what Barnold was hoping for, but his bet could still very well pay out. By the third quarter, the game's total was 179 points, and flash forward to the fourth, the total was, coincidentally enough, 222 points. Only 1 point away from ruining his bet. Luckily though, there was only 1 second left in the game, and the Hornets, who were down by 10, were inbounding the ball. So basically, game over. And just like that, Barnold was a big loser. You might think that that's a really sad way to go out, but like that, Barnold was basically game over. And just like that, Barnold was a big loser. You might think that that's a really sad way to go out, but mdalo1990 is a user who went on a betting rampage so big that, well, he ended up on national news. Even though things didn't come to light until this year, mdalo's story starts back in 2020. This user was married to a woman named Lisa and even had 2 kids. But this crazy year, he hopped on DraftKings and started betting a couple thousand a month, which is a lot, but not enough to really harm his family's living situation yet. Well, flash forward about a year, mdalo realized that he was getting sick and tired of the rat race. He wanted to strike gold, so he increased the amount of money that he was betting each month. DraftKings—
Don't do that. Don't do that. If you losing, like, bro, if you a loser, don't ever increase the bet. Like, don't even do it. Don't even do it. Because your ass gonna lose. If you a loser, your ass gonna stay a loser. Just because you increase the money, that don't mean shit. Stay with your shit. If you a $5 better, stay a $5 better. Don't try to go up to 12. Don't try to go up to 10. Don't try to go to 15. Don't even try to go to 6. Stay your ass at $5 fucking. Like, please.
Noticed this, and since they're not gonna say no to free money, they flagged him as a lucrative target and invited him to join DraftKings VIP private group. Basically meaning they thought he'd be a lifelong loser on the platform. He had VIP hosts calling and texting him, offering free bets and gifts. Even though he was losing money, for some reason he felt like he was truly being taken care of. Flash forward another year, mdalo leveled up to Onyx Elite. Being a part of this new level, DraftKings sent him expensive Apple products, gave him free vacations, and of course all the DraftKings merch you could ever ask for. You might be asking, hey, you know, it would be pretty cool if DraftKings sent me free iPads and some Vision Pros. How do I get on this list? Well, at this point, mdalo was betting about $700,000 a year, even though he only made $175K annually. You might be thinking,
That nigga, I ain't gonna lie. $M, he might not be a loser. Cause that nigga got guap. That nigga betting $700,000 a year, but he only making 100 and yeah. That nigga has been making hella fucking money off of fucking what's his name. Now he might be a loser, but that nigga is making money unless they just giving him fucking money. He just blowing that fucking money type shit.
mdalo is done for, but really, we haven't even gotten to the worst of it yet. Moving on into 2023, he was gambling up to $125,000 a month. Money is no longer real to him. He would max out his wife's credit cards, and get this, even took his kids' money that they saved up from Christmas, birthdays, and even baptisms. If they cared, they could easy Christmas, birthdays, and
Yo, this meme, bro. This little baby meme be happy weak, bro. That's exactly how I be, bro.
Baptisms. If they cared,
after I lose a bet, that's exactly how I be.
They could easily cut him off since it's clear he was a problem gambler, but DraftKings kept on sending him gifts and promotions. By 2024, mdalo had lost $942,000, which is already bad, but even worse considering a lot of it was stolen from his wife and kids. But by this point, the cat was out the bag, and Lisa was furious. She filed a lawsuit against DraftKings alleging negligence and fraud. DraftKings policy requires high-stakes users to actually verify their income, and they just never did. On top of this, things probably wouldn't have gotten so bad if DraftKings wasn't aggressively hitting mdalo with VIP targeting.
What were you doing inside?
Just drinking coffee?
Not gambling?
No, I don't. This is a coffee shop. That's no gambling. I don't want anything.
Lisa and her 2 young kids now are really just left with nothing. Her attorney said, "You think you're building a nest egg for yourself and your family, and it turns out it's gone." Since then, nothing has publicly come out about the case, so this is honestly just a tragic story. DTEX85 is a user who went from
I doubt he gonna get no money. I ain't gonna lie to you.
buying Dogecoin to now buying parlays like there's no tomorrow. 4 years ago, he posted things like "stop selling," shaking my head, and "effing sellers," shaking my head. Flash forward to January 26th of 2024, he finally made it over to the sports betting subreddit. He made the most perfect 8-leg parlay with an additional 33% profit boost and magically took his measly $25 into $4,600. Some users were a bit jealous after seeing this. But this would not be DTEX's last post. 2 months later, he ended up in a pretty similar situation, once again taking $25 to, this time, $2,600. In August, he turned $2 into $6,200 with a 24-leg parlay. He made another $300.
Nigga. Who? 24 leg. Gang. What?
9 days later,
That's
$3,100 3 weeks after that, and $600 4 days after that. Well, all these bets would pale in comparison to the bet he was about to make. On November 28th, DTEX went about his day as usual, putting together a parlay with a gazillion legs. Seriously though, this time his parlay only had 16 picks. With plus 148,000 odds, his $45 wager would pay out more than $66,000 if the stars.
Who is he? Who is he? I need it. What is his slips at? Does he still bet today? I need the slips. I need it.
Somehow aligned.
Need
well,
it.
later that night, he opened up DraftKings and his palms started sweating. His first 11 picks all played out in his favor, and the app gave him the option to cash out for a nearly $4,000 or 90x profit. DTEX quickly hopped on the subreddit and asked everyone if he should lock in his profits or let it ride out for the potential 66.5k. Pretty much everyone told him to cash out, but with DTEX being as stubborn as a bull, he didn't listen. And that's when things started to look a bit iffy. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't beat the Carolina Panthers, DTEX would have to kiss the money goodbye. It was the end of the fourth quarter, and the score was 23-23. Well, overtime started, and neither team wanted to go out without a fight. With 3 minutes left, this luckily happened. DTEX took a deep breath, but he still needed 2 more games for him to get the Holy Grail. He came back to the subreddit with "WTF do I do? OMG, almost had a heart attack watching that Tampa game. What do I do?" Instead of being able to cash out 4k, he was now able to cash out 30.6 thousand. Once again, everyone told him to take the money and run, but
I ain't gonna lie. I would cash that. I would have cashed that bitch out. I ain't even gonna lie, gang. I would have cashed that bitch out so fucking fast, bro. Like, me, because I don't roll fucking bets out, bro. I'm telling you, I don't roll bets out. I'm bullish on the bet, man. Fuck, I'm bullish on the bet. Like, I'm riding. Don't give a fuck. I am riding this bet the fuck out all the way to the end. Yes, sometimes I might cash out, but if it's a bet like that, yes, I am riding all the way to the end. Don't give a fuck.
did he listen? Actually, yeah, he did this time and walked away with a $30,000 payday. He posted his latest parlay 2 weeks later, and Roman Skywalker said, "Tailing you for 10 years, but this would unfortunately be the end of his post history." Flynn 1025 is someone who blindly followed someone else's bet and it somehow paid off. Flynn was scrolling through the DraftKings social page in the app and came across someone's long shot parlay for the night. With 10 legs and plus 125,000 odds, it was of course very unlikely that it was going to pay out, which is why he only threw $1.45 on the line. Somehow, every single leg was right, and his $1 bet turned into more than $1,800. It does not end there though, because the duder123456 commented on his post saying, "Dude, I hit the same one. I wish I could find the person to thank them." Instead of betting $1, the duder bet $55 and his payout was 68.8k. He said that this money will help pay for college for his kids. Clicking on his profile shows you that, well, 3 days after the bet, he somehow ended up with a new Corvette.
Fuck them kids, nigga. What? Nigga, What? I don't get.
A now deleted user came home from Costco and felt like throwing his money on the most random parlay ever. He bet that Georgia Tech would beat Miami at plus 375 odds, UTSA would beat North Texas at plus 550 odds, Oklahoma would beat Oklahoma State at plus 275 odds, Air Force beating New Mexico at plus 560 odds, and finally Stanford getting beat at plus 400 odds. At a total of just under plus 400,000 odds, it seemed like he was just throwing his money away. A few hours went by and the game's begun. Georgia Tech beat Miami by 4 points, then UTSA beat North Texas by 2 points, then Oklahoma beat Oklahoma State also by 2 points, cutting it real close, but hey, a win is a win, and so far, he was 3 for 3. Air Force just barely beat New Mexico by a single point, and just like that, there was only one game left to go. Oregon State ended the first half up by 6 points, and luckily for him, would keep it pushing for the rest of the game and beat Stanford by 12. This miracle parlay blessed him with this screenshot. A $4 bet turned into more than $15K. Him and his wife went nuts and had everyone feeling like they missed out on the FanDuel subreddit. He says to always go with your gut and to never let negative opinions get to your head. He posted this play earlier that day and everyone was talking mad smack. But now, he had the last laugh. He also says that you should think outside the box, but only bet what you can afford. Anyway, he feels
What I told you. Always bet. Stay with your bets, bro. Stay with it.
like the GOAT. Cranking out a big bet after Costco is cool and all, but the letter purple is a user who arguably may have done something even more wild. A week before he made his deranged bet, he first had to make sure that his voice didn't go unheard. He posted to the Cheesecake Factory subreddit, letting everyone know that the Cajun jambalaya pasta is just awful. I mean, honestly, just terrible. So bad, he had to send that John back. A week later, DraftKings gave him a bonus bet and he got to work. He didn't feel like throwing it into a straight bet since it was only worth 20 bucks. He cooked up a not one, not two, but 12-leg parlay. His parlay had plus 238,000 odds. Would his parlay hit and make him a gazillionaire? The answer is no. Heck no. He came back to the subreddit and said he was done for good. Is what I would have said if he was a big loser. All 12 legs hit and he turned his $20 bonus bet into $47,767. He acknowledged he got insanely lucky, but after that he took a several-month break from the subreddit. He finally returned and luckily had another win. He said, "I may be dumb, but I'm also stupid." His 3-leg parlay blessed him with a $3,500 profit. Great Significance 8 is a user who struck gold and went off the grid. At the end of December, he posted a screenshot of his 15-pick bets that turned his $115 into more than $52,000. Some users begged him to share his parlays beforehand next time, and so he did. Except this one was a big ol' loss. Anyway, he returned 2 weeks later looking for advice on the Wise subreddit. Earlier that night, he crafted a 9-leg parlay at plus 8,400 odds. He threw just over $100 on it, and flash forward a few hours later, the first 7 legs hit and he could cash out for $2,900. He wanted to know if he should cash out or let it ride for the potential $9,200. All he needed was for the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Los Angeles Rams and for Justin Jefferson to score a touchdown.
The comment, the league did the right thing in terms.
And just like that, his $3,000 cash out turned into $0. He posted a few more parlays, mostly losing ones, but stopped posting on March 3rd altogether. Thanks for watching.
I would have cast that bitch out.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment who had.
I swear I would have cast that bitch out so fucking fast. Like, ain't no fucking way. But them niggas was hitting, boy. Them niggas was hitting. Like, ain't no fucking way. God damn.